One of the most enjoyable features of a good children's book is the ability of the author to transport the reader into a completely new and exciting environment. It could be into a different time period, a different locale, even a different world entirely. One children's author in particular has done an exceptional job at taking the familiar and making it new and unfamiliar. Neil Gaiman is known for his work in many genres for many age groups. As can be seen in the acclaimed Sandman series for adults, his novels for teens, or his children's books, Neil Gaiman has a knack for taking readers on amazing journeys that they won't soon forget. This video presentation will detail 5 of the key characteristics of Neil Gaiman's work and his contributions to children's literature. One of the main characteristics of Neil Gaiman's work is the way he can balance dark themes with humor. Many of his works for children encompass themes of loss, sadness, and danger, while also being quite funny. His ability to reflect the emotions and experiences of a child while pushing them outside of their comfort zone is a unique aspect that comes from straddling that line between fear and humor. Examples of this can be seen in works like Coraline and The Graveyard Book. The main characters in these books are children who are placed in situations where they should be quite afraid. Yet Gaiman concludes situations and dialogue that show the reader that although things may be frightening, they will also be okay. There is a comfort in the darkness he creates. In Coraline and The Graveyard Book, the illustrations included are done in pencil sketches, playing into that element of darkness and fear. But the faces on the children stay soft and welcoming. In an interview on NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, the discussion focused around the darkness on Gaiman's work, how he often focuses on dreams and nightmares, but how the characters always wake up or return home safe in the end. Neil Gaiman's books for children help to teach them life lessons while cloaked in fiction. He has collaborated on darkly humorous tales with Dave McKean for books such as Coraline and The Graveyard Book, which teach youngsters many lessons about life and family. Bod, the main character in Graveyard Book, and Coraline, the young girl at the center of the book by the same name, both have lessons to learn about growing up and their identities. Similarly, his works with illustrator Charles Vess provide life lessons. A simple picture book that takes the reader on a fantastical journey, Instructions combines many of Gaiman's most beloved qualities. Dark, funny, and incorporating magical elements, Instructions is most often compared to Oh, the Places You Will Go by Dr. Seuss. It provides lessons that are applicable at any age. Gaiman shows readers how they can navigate problems in life just like they would navigate through fairy tales. Another book by Gaiman that was illustrated by Vess is Blueberry Girl, which is a simple and touching tale of all the wishes a parent would have for their little girl. Gaiman wrote it originally as a poem for his goddaughter, the child of his good friend, singer Tori Amos. Vess worked on illustrations, and it was published in 2009 as a picture book. In the Neil Gaiman cheat sheet, you will find a link to a journal entry by Neil from his website about Blueberry Girl and how it's a very special place in his heart and its place in the lives of mothers and daughters everywhere. In his book, The Day I Swapped My Dad for 2 Goldfish, Gaiman explores another aspect of child life in a very funny way. What child does not wish in anger that they had different parents? In the afterword of the book, Gaiman notes that this book began after he had told his son to go to bed, to which his son replied in anger that he wished he didn't have a dad at all, but a goldfish. A story that siblings and families can relate to, readers can't help but laugh at the young boy and his sister going on a series of misadventures to retrieve their father. Neil Gaiman's works often include elements of fantasy or the fantastical. He asks readers to follow him down the rabbit hole, discovering and exploring worlds that we did not know existed. Readers set aside feelings of reality and open their imaginations to new worlds, characters, and experiences. One brilliant example of this is in the book Crazy Hair. The story follows a young girl's adventure as she encounters all of the hidden treasures that are wrapped up inside of a man's crazy hair. The rhyming text pairs with beautiful illustrations that not only transport readers into this crazy hair, but make the readers feel the movement. An example: you hear music, dancers too. I can hear them, well can you? They play tunes beyond compare, dancing through my crazy hair. In the dangerous alphabet, young readers will encounter anything but the typical alphabet book. A young set of siblings and their pet gazelle embark on a fantastical adventure filled with letters, ghouls, and creepy crawlies, but return home safe and sound. The dangerous alphabet is written with the combination of wit, darkness, and fantasy that Gaiman has become known for. Gaiman has referenced in interviews and writings that he was greatly influenced by Jim Henson. Gaiman and frequent illustration collaborator Dave McKean came together to write the movie Mirror Mask, produced by the Jim Henson Company. After filming the movie, Gaiman and McKean went back and published the story with HarperCollins Children's Books. Gaiman and McKean, with the creative minds at the Henson Company, were able to turn this thrilling story of a young girl traveling into a different world and home again, and bring it to life not only on the screen, but to the page for the reader. Influenced by the classics, many of Neil Gaiman's most well-known and respected children's books were influenced by various classics and other types of literature. The Graveyard Book, which is a Newbery Award winner, is based on Rudyard Kipling's classic, The Jungle Book. Odd and the Frost Giants is based in Norse mythology. By exploring these types of literature and using them as influence in children's works, Gaiman opens up children to stories they may have never heard of before and encourages them to seek out the source material as they grow up. This is a trend that is also seen in Gaiman's other works for teens and adults. Gaiman's works are not confined to simply one style. He has written comics, graphic novels, adult novels, children's stories, and picture books. He has collaborated with other writers for anthologies and short story collections and has several audiobook collections available. As an author, Gaiman's work shows children how much variety is available in the world of literature. One of the last contributions Neil Gaiman has made to children's literature that I'd like to discuss is his reverence and respect for the experiences of children with respect to literature. Starting in 2010, Gaiman has proposed and been an advocate for All Hallows Read, where people are encouraged to trade, share, swap, and enjoy scary stories. This promotes reading at home, at school, and in the community. Plenty of Gaiman's books would fit the recommendation of stories appropriate for All Hallows Read, although the All Hallows Read website points readers to all sorts of magical and haunting stories fitting for the holiday. Neil Gaiman is an author who seems very accessible for his readers. His website is very engaging, he keeps an online public journal, and he is fun to follow on Twitter. However, specifically for children, he, with HarperCollins Children's Books, created a special website, Mr. Bobo's Remarkable Mouse Circus, which highlights Neil's books, collections, videos, and introduces Neil and the artists he works with to the readers. The homepage states that it is the official Neil Gaiman website for young readers. The website is much like Gaiman's writing, dark and funny and magical. It gives young readers their own space to love, share, and explore books by a wonderful author. These characteristics and contributions are just the tip of the iceberg of what Neil Gaiman has to offer children readers. In 2012, Neil Gaiman signed a deal with HarperCollins for 5 new children's books, including his first children's picture book specifically designed for non-readers. In an interview with the UK paper The Guardian in July 2012, Gaiman stated that Choose Day is the first book I've ever written for really little kids. Ones who cannot read, ones who can only just walk, those ones. Choose Day will be released in January 2013. Neil Gaiman has a long list of awards and honors to his name for many of his works for children, teens, and adults. When you visit the Neil Gaiman cheat sheet, there will be a list of his most popular children's works, the awards and honors he has received for children's books, and a list of other resources that teachers, parents, and librarians will find useful for recommending the books of Neil Gaiman to young readers. Neil Gaiman has shown through his style, imagination, and heart that books can hold a special place in the lives of children. Books can take them to faraway lands, help them address real-life situations, make them laugh, and make them cry. His books show readers how good literature can enrich your life. I will end this presentation with a quotation from The Graveyard Book. Bod said, "I want to see life. I want to hold it in my hands. I want to leave a footprint on the sand of a desert island. I want to play football with people. I want, he said. And then he paused and thought, I want everything.